Hi guys, we're learning about animals this week, and today we're going to learn about how animals can live in different kinds of habitats. Do you remember the word habitat? It means where they live. So we have lots of different kinds of habitats for pictures today. We're going to come back over to this habitat. We're going to talk about things that animals would need to live inside their habitat. That's called characteristics. God gave every animal something special. And those special things help them live where they need to live, where they live in their habitats. So Arctic animals like polar bears and penguins are going to need to live someplace where it's cold. They're going to need to be able to have some characteristics that help them stay warm, like fur or fat. Desert animals live in a habitat where it's hot all the time and very dry, not a lot of water. So they're going to have characteristics to help them stay cool and characteristics that help them either save water or not need to drink lots of water. They can live in a desert where there's not lots of water. Water animals, there's two different kinds of water animals. We learned about this Water Animal Week. There's saltwater animals that live in an ocean, and there's freshwater animals that live in ponds and rivers and lakes. Saltwater animals are going to have bodies that like salt water. Freshwater animals do not like salt water. These animals are also going to need to be able to swim. So they're going to have things like fins, webbed feet, tentacles to help them swim. Some of these animals even breathe water. So some of them would even have something called gills that would let them breathe water. Then we have land animals, and there's lots of different types of habitats for land. There's forests, mountains, grass, and then there's some animals that live on farms or in homes. These animals aren't going to need fins or webbed feet because they usually walk around. They're going to have feet. They're usually going to have some kind of fur because these places can sometimes get cold, but sometimes get warm. So a lot of these animals will have winter fur, and then they'll lose that winter fur when it's cold, when it starts to get warm, and they'll get summer fur or lighter fur so that they don't get too hot during the summer. So animals are really, really cool. They have lots of cool characteristics. Now we're going to read a really cool book. It's called Who's Looking at You? Not only do animals have different body parts to help them live where they live, but they also have different kinds of eyes. So this is kind of a guessing book we get to read today. You get to try and guess what you think this animal is. And we're going to turn the page. It is a gorilla. This is a peaceful giant that lives with its family in Africa forests. Gorillas use their eyes and other expressions to show feelings like happiness, fear, and curiosity, just like people. Gorillas can become uneasy or scared if you stare at them. They think staring is a sign of anger. And there's a little baby gorilla. See if you can guess this animal. This animal is a parrot. This colorful bird doesn't miss anything. A parrot's eyes have eyes on both sides of his head to look at things up close. Parrots have excellent eyesight. They can also see many colors, including some that people eyes can't even see. Very colorful birds. What animal is that? A snail. How did this hungry snail find the leaf? Snails can't see very well. They mostly depend on touch and can smell to find their way. But most snails do have eyes right at the ends of those two bendable tentacles called eye stalks. What animal is this? Cats. These shape-shifting eyes can see in daytime and at night. The cat's pupil, which is that center part of the eye, the black part of the eye, will shrink in bright light and get wide when it's dark. These are special eyes, and a cat can spot a tiny mouse from far away, even on the darkest night. What animal is this? A horse. This graceful creature has the largest eyes of any land animal. A horse's eyes are set on either side of its head. This lets the horse see things almost a whole circle around its body. There are only two places that a horse can't see, and that's right under its nose and right behind his head. What animal is this? A sea turtle. This animal is crying, but it's not sad. Sea turtles shed tears when they leave the water because the crying helps get rid of the salt in their bodies. Tears also help keep sand out of a mother turtle's eyes when she's digging a nest on the beach to lay her eggs. What animal is this? A dragonfly. This is the fastest insect. Thousands of little sensors are all together to form a dragon's eye. It's called a compound eye, and the dragon can see above and below and to the sides and even behind him. The eyes come handy for catching flies and mosquitoes while he's flying. What animal is this? It's called a cuttlefish. This amazing eye is shaped like a W. Although a cuttlefish cannot see color, it can change its color like a chameleon. By changing its color to hide, the cuttlefish can sneak up on other fish. Then the cuttlefish reaches out to grab its prey with its long tentacles to eat it. What animal is this? A lion. This animal spends a lot of time with his eyes shut while he naps under the trees. Just like a cat, the lion's eyes will change to fit where he's living. In the strong African sun, the pupil, the center black part of his eye, will shrink to a tiny little dot. And then the pupil will get bigger to let more light in when the lion goes out at night to hunt. What animal is this? A wolf. These eyes shine bright in the dark. Wolves have very good night vision. They use their special eyes to track small movement and small animals. This helps the wolf to hunt at night. What animal is this? A chameleon. It's a lizard up in a tree looking at you. It can be hard to tell. Humans have two eyes that move in the same direction to see things, but a chameleon can move its eyes in different directions. Its right eye can move up, and its left eye could look down. It's a pretty neat trick that lets the chameleon see in all directions. What animal is this? A rhinoceros. This horned giant does not have good eyes. The rhino's eyes are very small, and it's set back on either side of his head. If you stood still in front of a rhinoceros, it might even confuse you with a tree trunk. Luckily, the rhinos have a strong sense of smell and very good hearing to help make up for their very poor vision. What animal is this? A shark. This fearless hunter never blinks. Sharks have eyelids, but they never close. The surrounding water cleans their eyes. Some sharks have a thin, strong layer that protects their eyes when they are hunting. Sharks without this layer roll their eyes backwards to shield them when they are attacking or when they're being attacked. What animal is this? A blue spotted grouper. It's a tropical fish covered in polka dots that look like eyes. Its own eyes are set up at the top of its head so that it can see what's happening close to the surface of the water. The spots, the stripes, and the bright colors on the grouper help it blend into its home, the colorful coral reef. So they use camouflage. Whose eye is this? The hawk owl, who has bright yellow eyes on his flat little bird face to make it look like it's wearing a mask. The hawk owl has amazing eyesight and can see a mouse from far away, even in the dark. When sitting on a branch, the hawk owl can turn its head all around to backwards and look behind itself. What animal is this? It's not an eye at all. It's an owl butterfly. This butterfly uses a clever trick to stay safe. When a hungry lizard comes close, the owl butterfly simply opens its wings, and when its wings are spread, they look exactly like the face of an owl. The face isn't real, of course, but the fake eyes look real enough to scare off the lizard. So he opens his wings like that. Whose eye is this? A sperm whale. Whose eye is this? A toucan. Whose eye is this? A cow. Whose eye is this? A dog. Whose eye is this? Spider. Whose eye is this? A shrimp. Whose eye is this? A snake. And our last one, whose eye is this? A ferret. I hope you enjoyed our game today, guys, and learning about all of these different kinds of animal habitats. Thank you.